Welcome back, guys. Again, I'm not a medical doctor, nor am I here to give you medical advice. I'm here to share with you what has transpired in my life, or what these diets or low carb diet plans have happened to me. Just want to share with you. So of course, again, if you need more information, please do your own research. Speak to a doctor that may be more understanding to diets like that, and yeah, know how your body feels. If you feel any point in time that pain or something very uncomfortable happens, stop immediately and then take a step back and see if this diet works for you or not. So what I'm going to talk about is in this next video, in this current video, is going to be about intermittent fasting, or so to speak, or what happens if you avoid certain meals like breakfast. Okay, so stay tuned. I decided to do this video in particular because my mom just called me earlier asking, is not having breakfast or skipping your meals good for you? Will it affect your health? My answer to her was very simple. I don't get any gastric pains. Why? Maybe because our body is going to a mode where it looks for alternate sources of energy other than glucose. So maybe it looks for fatty acids by converting your fats into fatty acids, and then after that becoming energy. Or is it because the body goes through a period of repair? They call it autophagy. I'll elaborate on that probably in another video. But the key part is I do not feel the need to have breakfast, nor do I feel that not having breakfast is giving me any gastric pains. I have no whatsoever gastric problems. To be honest, I never had a real gastric pain, so I wouldn't know for sure how a gastric problem or pain would feel like. I guess pain is the number one indicator. I do not have any pain. Maybe I do feel hungry in the mornings. I do feel a bit of a hunger pangs, which you may call it. You feel a bit of stirring in the stomach, that it seems like you are looking for some food. But that's it. And the important thing is, when I have my lunch, I do not take lunch that has carbohydrates or anything that has sugars. I just take something that is high in protein, high in fat, and basically low carbs. And that's it. So why is this such a worry for many people? It's probably because since young we're always taught breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I won't argue with that. There probably has some research being done on that leads you to the understanding that yes, breakfast is important. But I realize breakfast to me is not important. It works for me, right? So it doesn't create problems for me when I don't have breakfast, right? I don't feel the need to have breakfast. So my meal times a day now are like at 12 to 1 p.m. and then my next meal time could be at about 6 to 7 p.m. or even 8 p.m. depending on whether I'm hungry or not. So if I'm hungry, then I just go for a meal and eat as much as possible until I'm full, without taking any carbs or noodles or sugar of any kind. Maybe there are, like in vegetables, there will be some carbs. In soup, there will be some carbs. In proteins, there will be minimal carbs. So I just take what I can, and maybe the sauces that comes with the food has carbs or sugar in them. So that's it. I do not strictly count the amount of carbs, but I just don't take rice, I don't take noodles, I don't take starchy stuff, and that's it. That's how I control. Not to worry if you feel that skipping your breakfast is sinful or a bad thing to do. The important thing is to understand what does this, or how will it affect yourself. For me, it's good. I don't need breakfast. But for you, you have to experiment. But the important thing is, do not give up because you feel that I cannot handle it, I feel hungry. That's because your body has not yet adapted to the fact that you do not need sugar for energy. You just need to convert your fats into energy. So your body has to learn to try and do that. So it takes a while. So don't give up. Maybe you're thinking the first few days is like, how can you handle those kind of hunger pangs, or you feel as if you am I having a gastric problem? But in actual fact, it's just that you're feeling hungry. But if you do feel pain, do stop it. Do not continue on and go back to having your normal meals. The key thing is you must understand your own body. Alright, I'm not a medical doctor, so I'm not here to give you medical advice. I'm just here to give you my experience what happened to me when I started on low carb diets, and I hope this will work for you too. So they call it the 16-8, or some even do 24. So what does 16-8 means, and what does 24 means? So 16 refers to the duration of fasting or intermittent fasting, that you do not have anything within that time frame. So 16 usually refers to 16 hours. So for example, if you start your last meal is at 8 p.m. the night before, the next day at 12 noon will be the 16 hours period. So if you don't have anything within that period, it's technically known as your fasting period. And then 8 refers to the window where you should have your meals. So from 12 noon until 8 p.m. will be the time where you should fill up yourself with low carb stuff, high protein, and moderate protein and high fat. So you need to see what works for you. For me, I don't really go for like specific 70% like fat, or 20% protein, or 10% carbs. So that is almost like a keto diet, which I'll explain in other videos following on. But you do have to minimize your carbohydrate intake, your sugar, to the absolute minimum, and that's done during your feeding window, the 8-hour feeding window between 12 to 8 p.m. So you essentially can eat within this window. You can have 2 meals, 3 meals. For me, I did 2 meals. Sometimes I will do 3 meals, but all my meals are kept within that time frame, and then I start fasting again. All right. So 24 also refers essentially saying 20 hours of fast and then 4 hours of eating window. Right. So this is something you may want to try out, and that is what intermittent fasting can be followed. So maybe in the next video I will talk about the science or the nutritional benefits behind intermittent fasting. Again, it's not for everyone, so you have to explore according to your body and your reaction or responses to what happens when you start on these diets. Okay, so see you in the next video.